Welcome! Today we are diving into something that feels so basic we probably don't think about it enough: washing our hands. But here's the thing, this simple act is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful tools we have to protect ourselves and everyone we care about. So, let's get right into it.
So let me just start by asking you a question. With all the complex health advice out there, what do you think is the single most effective way to stop infections from spreading? Just take a guess.
Well, it turns out the answer is right there at the end of your arms. It's literally in your hands. Yep, good old-fashioned hand hygiene. It's a simple idea with a massive, massive impact.
Now, to really appreciate just how powerful this solution is, we first got to understand the problem we're up against. And the tricky part is, it's an invisible threat that travels on the very tools we use for everything: our hands.
This is what it all comes down to: the chain of transmission. You see, our hands are the #1 way we pass germs from one place to another. And here's the kicker: even if your hands look totally clean, they can be covered in millions of microorganisms. We're literally fighting an enemy we can't see.
So just how big of a deal is this? Well, get this. Studies have shown that doing hand hygiene correctly can slash healthcare-associated infections by up to 50%. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Half. That is a huge, huge number for such a simple action.
But here's the fantastic news. We have two incredibly simple yet super powerful solutions to fight back against this invisible threat. Think of them as your personal superpowers in the battle against germs.
So our two main methods are, you guessed it, soap and water, and the more modern alcohol-based hand rub, hand sanitizer. But what's really important to get is that they're not always interchangeable. Each one has its own moment to shine. All right, let's talk soap and water. This is your go-to whenever your hands are visibly dirty. Now, the absolute most critical step here is number 2. You gotta lather up and scrub for a solid 15 to 20 seconds. That's about the time it takes to sing happy birthday through twice. And don't forget to get your thumbs, under your nails, and in between your fingers. Oh, and a little pro tip, use that paper towel to turn off the faucet so you don't pick up germs right after you wash them off.
Okay, now for alcohol-based hand rub, or ABHR. This is your best friend when your hands look clean, but you know you need to sanitize. The secret here is to use enough of it, a good palmful, and to keep rubbing until your hands are bone dry. If they're still damp after 10 seconds, you gotta keep going. You're aiming for about 20 seconds total.
Okay, so we've got the how down pat. But just as important is the when. To really lock this in as a habit, we're gonna focus on what we call the 4 critical moments. Let's break them down.
First up, moment 1 is all about protecting the other person. So, before you touch someone, or even things right around them, like their bed or a nightstand, you clean your hands. This is just to make sure you're not passing on any germs you might have picked up along the way. Moment 2 is all about preventing germs from getting into a place where they can cause real trouble. So think about things like helping with wound care or even just handling someone's medication. Before you start any of that, you have to clean your hands. This protects them from getting a nasty infection.
All right, moment 3. This one's about protecting yourself and also preventing the spread of germs to the next thing you touch. So right after any possible contact with body fluids, you clean your hands. And this is a big one. You do this even if you are wearing gloves. Gloves aren't foolproof. This step is absolutely key to stopping cross-contamination in its tracks.
And that brings us to our final moment, which really closes the loop. After you're done interacting with a person and their space, you clean your hands again. This protects you, and it makes sure you don't carry anything away with you to the next person you meet or the next surface you touch.
Now look, in a perfect world, we'd all nail this every single time. But life isn't perfect, right? It's messy and fast-paced. So let's talk about some of the real-world roadblocks that get in the way, and more importantly, how to get around them.
The good news is, for pretty much every common barrier, there's a simple solution. No sink? No problem. That's exactly what hand sanitizer is for. Worried about dry, chapped skin? Use a good quality hand lotion. But apply it between visits, not right before, because it can actually make the sanitizer less effective. It's really all about being prepared.
So let's see how this all works in just regular everyday life. Helping someone with a meal? You clean your hands before you start. You're scrolling on your phone? Clean them before and after. Trust me, our phones are like petri dishes. These little scenarios just go to show you the 4 moments aren't just for hospitals. They're for all of us every day.
And really, that's the whole point. This isn't just some clinical knowledge for doctors and nurses.
This information empowers every single one of us to be a hygiene hero in our own lives, creating safer spaces for our family, our friends, and our community.
So how do you become that hero, that role model? Well, you just lead by example. Don't just tell your kids to wash their hands, show them how to do it right. Explain the why behind it. Hey, let's wash up so we can all stay healthy. Believe me, your actions are so powerful. People notice, and they'll start to follow your lead.
If you take away just one thing today, please let it be this. It's so simple, but it's so true. Clean hands protect everyone in the home. It's such a small act, but it creates this amazing ripple effect of safety and care.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The knowledge is now in your head, and the power to make a difference is quite literally at your fingertips. The only question left is, how are you going to use your hands to protect the people in your life?